All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're breaking down a case study about a modern marketing strategy that's making some serious waves. We're talking about how car dealerships are turning simple social media clicks into real showroom traffic and, you guessed it, huge profits.
So, if you're in the car business, this one probably hits close to home, right? You've got all this amazing inventory, a great sales team ready to go, but the showroom floor is just quiet. Where are all the buyers?
It's this cycle that so many dealerships get stuck in. It's frustrating. But today, we're looking at a specific digital playbook from a company called Willowood Ventures that says they've found a way to completely break that cycle.
Okay, so before we can really appreciate the solution, we've got to get a crystal clear picture of the problems that dealers are facing day in and day out.
According to our source material, it really boils down to these five big ones. First, your leads are just drying up. That means you're not getting enough appointments on the books. Then you've got cars just sitting on the lot, costing you money every single day. You end up overpaying for trade-ins at auction just to get some metal. And you feel like you're totally invisible in your own backyard. Now here's the kicker. These aren't just five separate headaches. Oh no, they're all connected. They feed into each other, creating this nasty, vicious cycle. Fewer leads mean fewer appointments, which means cars don't sell, which drives up your costs and forces you to make bad deals. It's tough. So how in the world do you break a cycle like that? Well, this strategy says the answer is right where millions of Americans are already spending hours every day: social media. They call it the Facebook sales event. And the idea is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. You use these super targeted ads on places like Facebook and Instagram to find people who are actually in the market for a car. And then, boom, you immediately connect them with a live team that sets a real, confirmed appointment for them to come see you. And listen, this isn't some new theory they're just testing out. The source says we're talking about over 200 dealerships all across the country that are already using this system. And a lot of them, they're setting all-time sales records. So how does this actually work? I mean, how do you really turn a like or a share into a car sale? Well, it all comes down to a really smart two-part formula. So on one hand, you've got the technology. We're talking sophisticated, data-driven ads that can target potential buyers based on hundreds of different factors. But on the other hand, and this is absolutely crucial, you have the human touch. A live business development center, or BDC, that jumps on every single lead the second it comes in. And this BDC is the real secret sauce here. This isn't a chatbot or an overseas call center. We're talking about a team of US-based agents, available 14 hours a day, who are specially trained to talk about sensitive stuff like credit and lock in a firm appointment to get that person into your showroom. Okay, that all sounds great in theory. But talk is cheap. Does it actually deliver the goods? Let's dig into the real-world numbers from the source material. I mean, just look at these results. They're wild. Let's zero in on that Buick GMC store in St. Louis. They ran a 5-day event, booked 317 appointments, sold 62 cars, and walked away with nearly $300,000 in gross profit. And you see these kinds of stories again and again across different brands and different markets. So when you stack this up against your typical advertising methods, it's not even a contest. The claim is that these Facebook sales events deliver 3 to 5 times more qualified buyers. And that word qualified is everything. We're not talking about just clicks. We're talking about real people ready to buy. And what happens once that appointment is actually set? The data shows an incredible average show rate of 60%, with some dealers getting up to 73%. Then, get this, of the people who actually walk through that door, about half of them drive home in a new vehicle. That is an insanely efficient process. And you don't have to just take my word for it. Listen to this from O'Fallon Buick GMC. A 276% increase in showroom traffic from a single event. They called it the best campaign in their store's history. I mean, wow, you can't get a much stronger endorsement than that. So we've broken down the problem, the solution, and the proof. What's the single biggest thing to take away from all this? It's this direct transformation. The strategy takes every single one of those frustrations we started with and just flips it on its head. Stagnant lead generation? Nope. Now it's a fire hose of over 300 leads a week. Not enough appointments? How about a packed calendar with more than 150 booked visits? Slow sales turn into 20 to 50 cars sold in just 7 days. It's a total game changer. So it really leaves you with a pretty big question, doesn't it? In an industry where competition is just brutal and customers are harder to reach than ever, Could a targeted, human-powered social media strategy like this be the new essential playbook? Based on the data we've seen, it's a question every dealership out there should be asking.